hard, but you can only it's playoffs, so you only have so much, right?
Yeah,
And
that's true.
so that'll be. But yeah, I think it was some. Josh Hart let it out the bag. I think 2 nights ago, after their last game in the locker room, he said, "Look, we're planning on neither of them being here." And then word got out, and then today they were like, "Hey, Randall's out for the year." OG is allegedly playing 5-on-5 ball, full contact. So hopefully he can get in.
Oh, good.
How's Mitchell doing?
Mitchell hurt his ankle again, the one that he had surgery on. So, man, if I'm the Knicks, I just keep him on ice till playoffs. You got 7 games left.
He's huge, man. God, if he could come back, he is freaking huge. Just the amount of rebounds that dude gets, crazy.
Going into this week's games, so not the start Monday on. What I read a stat, and I might be off, but there's 7 or 8 starting centers in the league that he still had more rebounds in his 21 games than they have right now, 3/4 of the season, or almost done with the season.
Jesus.
And he only played 21 games.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's really big.
And where did you go to school, Thoch?
Who?
Mitchell Robinson.
I want to say he went to some little ass school.
I want to say Florida.
No. It wasn't.
I want to say
it wasn't a big school.
I want to say he came out of high school, but let me check.
No, he didn't come out of high school. It was like the little brother college to like a big college in the state, but like a little mid-major brother, like low, high major. I'm pretty positive, like a South Alabama type college or some weird shit like that.
Hey, check it out. I'll get us going though, guys.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah, Mitch came out of high school. Why did Mitch Robinson skip college? He skipped college in 2018 and entered the draft. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a big dude.
Yeah, Mitch ain't got time for that college.
What is good, ladies and gents? The fellas back in action. This is the BCS After Hour Show. Good to see you guys in the live chat, and we are here for the next hour, just talking sports, talking what's going on in the world right now, any plays we like heading towards the weekend, as of course we're edging closer and closer to the playoffs for the NBA, NHL, as well as we're getting closer to the Final Four coming up here. So we're loving it, loving every part of it. And we're going to keep doing what we do. Real quick, let's just do our quick roll call around. Quick roll call around the room. The fellas are in the house tonight, guys. How are we doing? Of course, we got North Glen's finest on the left. We got the Soch man in here. How are we feeling?
Feeling good. It was kind of a dead week so far with like the NBA slate, all these games that really don't mean anything, and then we're obviously waiting on the Final Four matchups on Saturday. So kind of been a little slow, trying to stay afloat with some of the props. And I only gave out one prop today just because there was only a short amount of games, and I just can't really force anything. But yeah, it'll probably be like that going forward. Like he was saying, try to stay away from it a little bit, just kind of decompress and wait for the playoffs, because then you know what you're going to get, at least balls to the wall, starters playing, 38 plus minutes, 40 minutes a night. But nonetheless, I mean, still got a lot to talk about. A lot has shaken up since the last one on Monday with the NBA standings and whatnot. So excited to get into it, and a couple trades that have happened since then in the NFL. So we can go ahead and dive right into it, but I'm feeling good, feeling good so far.
And of course, as always, good to have you here, Soch. But as well as we got the money man himself, the Teflon Don. We got Big E in the house. E, how we doing?
Doing good, doing really good. A little lonely down here in the basement windows lately. I don't know if my man's still out on assignment. Maybe he's out in Gaza doing some war reporting.
Some Gaza.
But yeah, I miss my guy Witt, but he'll be back. Yeah, good times. like Saj kind of said, for me, I'm just going to take a knee. Sometimes it's good. You just take a knee, decompress. I'm done with the NBA until playoffs, and it's just because you don't know who's playing, what's playing, and even when they're playing, how hard they're going to play. So we have like 7 games left, maybe a week, 10 days till playoffs. I'll look at some baseball and stuff, but yeah, I'm going to stay out of this NBA because we're giving you guesses, and we don't want to do that either, right? Because we don't know what's going to be. But big news. I guess I could release it. Big news out there. Big East wins the NIT. Congrats to Seton Hall.
Wow.
I went against them this weekend, but they beat Indiana State 77-79 tonight. So it's one piece of the puzzle. Now, if UConn can get the NCAA title, it's a conference sweep.
Yeah, sure.
100%.
But that's for the NCAA nerds.
Sure. And of course, guys, like he was just mentioning, no Whit tonight. Don't worry, we got the signal out though. We got it out. We don't know where he's at or anything. He's out on assignment though, guys. He does this stuff to get better for the content, get better for you guys, all the listeners and listeners. So shout out to our guy Whit. We'll have him back here shortly. So we sent out the MIA post. But we'll see what happens. But shout out to all the live viewers and listeners, guys. I see you there up above and everything. Let us know in the chat tonight if you got any questions, any sports plays, anything you want to talk about tonight. Hit us up in that comment section right now. We're live, so if you post a comment, we're gonna post it live on the show. Give you a shout out, and we'll use your conversation or question you may have. So just feel free to do that. But we'll keep this thing up and rolling. We got some stuff to talk about tonight. Some good things. I kind of wanted to get into, now that we're edging closer, I guess really the Final Four right now, NCAA men's basketball. Where are we at with that? Let's hop into the women's one too after this men's one, because that's going to be a really good one as well. I like some of the matches in that as well.
That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow, right?
Yeah. So a lot of stuff. So let's hop into kind of that genre right now, as well as if you guys are eyeing any plays for either of those and everything, or outcomes you guys are just seeing outright with everything. We'll start with Sach.
Yeah, I mean, as far as NCAA wise, you're talking about?
Yeah, the Final Four.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of in the same boat. Nothing has really switched or persuaded me to a different side. I mean, UConn, so I was thinking about it. I don't see NC State. I only see one upset happening this whole weekend, and that would be Alabama maybe making it close. I think Purdue might blow the doors off of these guys in NC State. And the only reason that, this is to E's credit, because E was saying how fast Alabama can score. Alabama could get blown out very fast if they're cold, but they can also take a lead and get right back in the game as well, just with how fast-paced they're scoring. I was watching a couple of their last games because I didn't really get to watch much of the Alabama just because some of the games that I was watching were on at the same time. But Alabama, they just go down and literally just shoot threes and fire them up as fast. It looks like as fast as possible. There's really no offense. All they're doing is just ball screen, barely even a ball screen. Just go. Barely even a ball screen.
There he is. Hey, there he is. There he is.
Just out here
we knew he had to make it.
Just out here in Hollywood, just navigating the streets, trying to get back to San Diego. What a week. I tell you what, being on the road is not for the faint of heart, but I'll do anything for the Bet Champ Show.
Gotcha. It's good to have you in here. Whit, how you feeling? What are you doing? And I know you might be limited on time, but real quick, what have you made of so far some of these MLB games? Just a quick, brief summary, what you're seeing so far.
So the Dodgers have gotten hot. The NL West is not what we expected so far. 4-3 and below. Besides the Dodgers, the Orioles are doing what the Orioles do. Look for Holiday Sun to get called up after May 1st. They just left him down there. He's #1 overall pick at shortstop. I think they have him playing second base down in the minors. So look for him to get called up after May 1st to give them even a bigger bump. And that gives him another year on his contract to control that contract. So that's a big thing. I know E's probably tracking that one. Shohei hits his first bomb. Judge hits his first bomb. More to come. Betts leading in every offensive statistical category in professional baseball. absolutely ridiculous. Saw an article, don't know when the last time that was done, didn't get far enough along in it, but I've never seen it or heard of it happening in my lifetime. So be interested to see if it has. And then, love the Rangers still. I still love the Rangers regardless of, what's going on there. I don't know. Interested to see Oakland going to Sacramento for 25 through 27. That's a story. And then we'll see if they even make it out to Vegas. There's some things there. I love the A's franchise. Just don't love what they've done. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's been exciting, but just great to see the Dodgers get on a roll and start doing some things. And a lot of exciting games. It hasn't been easy for them. Muncy hits a late bomb. They lose to the Cardinals in extra innings. The next night, Muncy hits the bomb to get they lose a lead, and then get a home run to tie it up going to extras. The next night, Muncy has to hit a bomb to get them, the W in the bottom of the ninth, I think it was. So like they could very well be 3-5. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I've been out of pocket because I've been on the road, but been trying to keep up with it. Interested in the tournament games. Awesome that game between LSU Iowa. Like they showed a stat of like only one college basketball or one college football game had more viewers than that, and everything else it just dominated. So just crazy, man. But rambling a little bit driving down here in Hollywood, just took a wrong turn, so probably gonna hit some more traffic. But like I said, nothing but sacrifices here for the Bet Champ Show.
You're muted.
Sorry, I said that's a little update from the Whitster himself. You guys, he gives us all the updates. Cruising along, looking cool in the getaway vehicle as always. But we'll go back to our main conversation. We'll roll back through everyone. Let's get back into the NCAA tournament, men's and women's Final Fours. Any plays you're looking at, or just prediction-wise, how you think it's coming from? Sach, I know you were just talking about UConn, Alabama is the one you could kind of see maybe something can happen and whatnot, but we'll get back to that conversation.
And when I say something can happen, I mean like within like 7-8 points, right? I'm not talking about they're going to upset them or it's going to come down to the last possession. I think they can keep it close to make it interesting. I don't see North Carolina State, just with Zach Edey, I just don't see it happening. The guy's been dominating. He's been being extremely smart with his fouls throughout the whole tournament, has not gotten in any foul trouble whatsoever. And part of that is also that a lot of guys that they're playing just aren't testing him. He's just he don't really have to guard at the same time. And the only possibility is with our savior, DJ Burns, maybe getting him in foul trouble a little bit somehow, some way on a couple pump fakes. But other than that, I got Purdue winning that game by at least 10. I think the spread's a little bit higher than that, but not gonna really flirt with anything of that nature on the NC State side. But Alabama, I know E had his pick. E picked Alabama in the Final Four, so I'll leave the rest to him on what he still thinks. But yeah, I would just see Alabama maybe keeping it close if they can just knock down shots. Hard to handicap if the team's just going to get hot or not. So
yeah, I'm and everything Sach said. I'm in the same lane with the Bama piece, right? You guys each play college ball, so like shooters always have a chance, and that's what Bama's giving you. I think they scored the most 100-point games this year. As we talked last week, you saw it in this game. What was it with Tennessee? They're down 13, and just like that, they were up 3. As long as you have shooters and they're hot, you have a shot. I'm also worried though about both teams, right? They're playing in a football stadium. they're getting out of the arenas, getting out of the big basketball houses, and now they're going to be playing where the Arizona Cardinals play. So I don't know, you guys were players, but I heard that could set you off too. Just being in a bigger setting, the ceilings and everything else kind of can mess up your groove. But Bama has the best shot. North Carolina has the magic. North Carolina State, but yeah, Purdue. Frank and Edey. He's just gonna go in there and just do his Frank and Edey stuff. Maybe that's the one, but I don't think so. I think that the UConn Bama game is going to be fun to watch. That's going to be a good fight, and it's right. I think it's what we all want. everybody wants, I don't want to say everybody, you might be fit, but really, what's best? The best matchup, UConn, Purdue. Let's put the ones in here. Let's roll this out and let's battle. Same thing you asked about the ladies, right? Let's get Iowa and South Carolina. Let's get the Avengers, one team, South Carolina's team ball going up against the Solo, the Wolverine, and Caitlin Clark has a team as well, but it's kind of that matchup. And again, 2-1s. If the other teams get there, they're good stories. UConn, NC State. Hey, look, we both made the finals, but what do we want to see? What does America want to see? Let's see Caitlin go out with a shot at the title, or let's see Dawn Stanley's team, protect house and serve and do their thing. That's my take for the NCAAs.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I think going into the women's tournament, I think obviously Caitlin Clark going up against South Carolina, a dominant team this year in women's basketball, would be cool. But I'll tell you what, let's not miss out on this game that's coming up tomorrow. Paige Beckers versus Caitlin Clark. I think that matchup's going to be crazy. I'm really excited to watch that game, see how they do matchup wise and what's going on, because they're really good as well, and obviously Paige Beckers is a really great player and everything. They got a good team. Me and Sach and I were watching them versus USC. Pretty impressive. They get a lot of things moving and everything. So I'm excited for tomorrow's game as well. See how that one goes. Going back to the men's, kind of what you guys are saying. Obviously, the best possible game to watch would be UConn versus Purdue. I think it would be the most competitive matchup you'd see there. Two tough teams that have absolutely just been dominating the tournament and dominating their seasons. That would be crazy. It's like we've talked a lot of Purdue too in their region of the bracket and how they were just steamrolling pretty much everyone. It's just UConn again. I feel like we kind of we didn't sleep on UConn. They were a number one team. We knew about UConn, but we didn't really give them, I guess, as much credit as we were giving Purdue on how much UConn was just steamrolling everyone as well. And we knew that going in, but so it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, I would like to see NC State put up at least a fight against Purdue if they can. And I feel like what we've all been talking about is really you just got to find out if you can stop Zach Edey, which I don't think you can, but if you can hold him to like 25 points, that's your game plan. Because we talk about matchups and everything. Guard-wise, I think NC State has better guards. Right, I think they have a better system and everything. Purdue just beats you because they know where to give the ball. They just give the ball to Zach Edey and let him go to work. Let him get to the free throw line. But guard-wise for Purdue, sometimes when those guys are out there, these guys aren't cold shooters or anything like that. If we watched the past couple of games and everything, they're trying to get the ball down low. They'll take the open shot if they got it, but they're not like lights-out shooters. So we'll see. But obviously, exactly what E said, America definitely wants to probably see UConn versus Purdue and everything. Play-wise, I haven't really looked too much. I definitely want to get some of these plays out. I'm sure for the women's, this UConn versus Iowa game is going to be – the line should be decently close if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's at 2.5 right now. And, sorry, just to touch on the women's side again, Caitlin Clark, obviously – the head centerpiece for Iowa, 41 points on their last outing versus LSU. Watching the LSU game and kind of going to watch back, I'm watching like highlights about it, and Kim Mulkey has been getting bashed about how they defended her. And I'm watching these highlights. She's getting open shots off of ball screens, and that's a big problem. And Kim Mulkey's kind of been on the hot seat coaching-wise. Even after a national championship, you still have so much expectations to come back and do it again. It's not like they lost their full team. They still had a stacked roster, brought in Haley Van Lith, who's a great guard in the transfer portal, and they just underachieved to the most part coming off of what they just did last year. And I just don't see Gino Auriemma letting Caitlin Clark get shots that she was in that last game. I just don't see it. He has a senior guard-led team, obviously Paige, Nika Mule, another great defender, all-time assist leader for UConn women's. Aaliyah Edwards is another big factor. I think that UConn just has a little bit more pieces in how they're playing, and I'm honestly just leading on the coaching in this one. Gino has been, up and down the last couple of years, but he hasn't had a team how he's having right now clicking like they are. And yeah, I mean, I'm literally just going this based off of coaching and the player personnel, not so much. I'm telling you guys, if you guys got time, just go and watch that game. The LSU on defense was atrocious. If there's one person, it's like Steph Curry getting a ball screen 6 times throughout the game, and there's no one even up on him, and they're just shooting wide open shots. And I just don't see that happening. Give me the plus 2.5 tomorrow for UConn. The senior guards, Paige and Nika Mule with Aaliyah Edwards and Gino. I think they'll be able to obviously not stop Caitlin Clark to the fullest ability, but she ain't going to have it easy. She's not going to have it easy tomorrow. And if she makes 40-footers, 35-footers, coming off of a ball screen, 2 people up in her face, then so be it. But give me the experience in this one. Give me Gino and UConn plus the 2.5.
The freshman that was guarding Clark, Van Leith, it's L-I-T-H.
She was lost. She was lost out there.
Yeah, she entered the transfer portal today. You could imagine when she went home, she's probably getting killed out there. So she entered the portal today. But you're going up against the greatest scorer,
Absolutely.
not just in women, but men's NCAA as well. I mean, is there anybody that's really going to stop her? So
no, but I'm saying just make it easy.
You could have made an effort. I get your point, though. It's kind of, and I guess I am trans. Kind of like the Duke. Both times they lost to NC State in the AC tournament, and in this one, all the commentators kept saying was the Duke coach. He's not going to get beat by 3s. He'll lose by 2, or he'll give up the 2-pointers, and it was just all DJ. And you're like, well, eventually you got to stop DJ.
Yeah.
I see the point. It's going to be good.
Whit's
back.
Cool.
Whit, we're talking about the ladies' games coming up.
Yeah, no, I was tracking what you were saying. Like Angel, you're talking about Angel Reese, right? And obviously Caitlin Clark in that game. And she entered the draft today. I heard you say that.
No,
we were talking just about the matchups and who's going to stop Clark. The lady who was guarding Clark for LSU entered the transfer portal. She's cool. Yeah, but Reese has also entered the draft, though. That is true. She's going to enter the draft.
Yeah. My bad.
You're
Not
good.
for the faint of heart.
Man, you're out there in Hollywood doing a couple of auditions. We got you.
Well, what I was going to add, I'm totally with Sach on the whole match, especially with this UConn-Iowa matchup. This UConn-led team with their head, if I'm not right, they have the most appearances, right, from the women's side in the NCAA. I think 18 appearances.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it makes sense. He had a good run.
Yeah, he's so exactly to what Sach is saying. I mean, this coach has been in the game for a while. He knows what it takes, especially coaching this women-led team and everything. And he knows he's got a great team right now, especially with Paige Beckers. He's not going to let this go to waste. And exactly what Sach is saying with the LSU defense, it was terrible. When you have a player like Caitlin Clark that knows their main scoring option, what do you do with defense? You got to figure out ways to limit her touches. You got to limit her touches. And they were letting her bring up the rock, setting screens from her, letting her get by and everything. I mean, you got to limit the touches. You got to be face guarding her. And it's tough. That's a full out scheme and everything. But that I can guarantee you there will be some face guarding and everything to what Sach was saying, especially with ball
screens. Yeah. It was terrible.
You can't do it. You got to know who you're playing. You know what I mean?
And she was going. Caitlin Clark had two coast to coast layups with no one even remotely close to her, past half court. No one. And I think the Haley Van Lith looked lost out there. It didn't even look like their game plan on defense was There was no plan. Everyone looked out of sync and out of order the whole game. I watched the full 5-minute, 6-minute highlight reel about their defensive breakdowns, and it just made no sense to me at all. But like I said, I just think Gino will just at least slow that down a little bit.
He's gonna know it. He's scheming already. He's got a great plan. I'm sure of it. And we'll see. Because kind of going back to what Sach was saying with the UConn team, their all-around team is pretty dang good. They're pretty solid. Obviously, yes. Iowa has a solid team too, but the offense is ran through Caitlin Clark. If she's not scoring 40 plus points, how would they do and everything? And I saw the last 2 games, I want to say, she's up in the 40s and everything, but her 3-point shooting percentage is pretty low still, because she's firing a lot, obviously, and everything. She
also has 1,000 assists. She's over 1,000 assists as well.
No, I give her. She's a hell of a player. You could just tell by the way she plays. She's got great vision. She really does. She knows where everyone is. She knows how to run an offense and everything. She capitalizes on it. So like I said, I'm really excited to watch this one tomorrow. I think it's going to be a great game. This is the one I want to see. But I'm kind of with Sach on this. I might lean into that plus 2.5 spread for UConn. I just like it. It's going to be a close game. It's definitely going to be a close game. I'm not rooting against anyone. I'll root for whoever wants to take it and everything, because I think they're both really good teams. But obviously, America definitely wants to see Caitlin Clark in the Natty, right? So we'll see what happens. Going back to I'll probably lean still. I'm going to sprinkle. This isn't one of my, play of the ladies and gents or anything like that. Special shout out to the live viewers and listeners. We got you guys. But I'm definitely going to sprinkle a little on the NC State spread, just because that's what I've been doing throughout the tournament. It's been good juju. I'm going to continue. I'm not saying that I like them to win or anything like that, or it's a big play of mine. I'm just doing it because they've already done so much for us so far. So, like a half unit or something like that. Not my full unit or anything like that, but we'll just see what happens. I think it's 9.5. I think it might be 9.5.
9.5. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's why I like it too. Obviously, Edie's gonna cook these guys and everything, but we'll see. Like I said, I still like the guard play over on NC State and everything. I mean, the DJ booth.
DJ booth, yeah.
That's what they call him. DJ Horn, DJ Burns, the DJ booth. But we'll see. Real quick sidebar here. Little story time. So on Tuesday, Sach and myself, we went down to the old Thornton Rec Center. Thought we'd get in some runs. Sach is telling me, he's like, this is where I was balling in high school, getting runs in and everything, playing against grown men and everything, getting them ready for college. And I was like, dang,
getting me ready for high school, varsity. I was on team and JV playing there.
So I was like, dang, okay. I was like, we haven't really played in a while, so I'm excited. Let's go. But Sach is too, he's like, hey, this is an old school type of rec center. Really cool and everything, but on these runs, it's it's down back and there's no 3-point line. Everything's 1 point, and that's how you play. You got to sign your name up on the chalkboard, get in line. So no 3-pointers or anything. You just gotta. Everything's a 1, a deep 3, everything. So it was cool. We're out there, and we got in there. Me and Sach, we're getting a little older and everything. A little winded and whatnot. But I'll tell you what, we ran that damn court for a long ass time. But here's the story. Here's what I want to bring up. So we're playing and everything, and people are talking trash. It's crazy, and we're just in trying to do our thing. We're playing on court 1, the winner's court, because we've been over there. On the other court, we just look over and a kid just get fucking popped in the face. Just popped. Next thing you know, a dude's getting body slammed to the ground. And guys are yelling at each other, "You ain't this, you ain't that. You ain't this, you ain't that. I stand on this." Full on brawls going on. These guys are heated. They're Next thing
Sauce
you know,
took you-
there's about 5 cops in there just taking people out. So it was
That's
definitely
where I grew up. That's why I'm hard nosed.
It was trippy. We were in there.
He took you to Rocky 3, Eye of the Tiger Gym, man. There's no AC. We
It
just
really
got some
was.
fans, and we stand on it. Yeah, the 3, that's for chumps. We play ball.
We play hard nose,
like
get
it.
in the paint,
Yeah.
and bang down there. And some
Yeah,
people
we were
go,
banging. But it was
I'm glad
crazy.
you guys represented the BCS. Good job.
It was one of those crazy runs. Yeah, it was it was cool though. It was cool. But I'll tell you what though, I've never been so winded in my life. After the last game, I felt like I wanted to fall over. Basketball conditioning, I forgot how basketball conditioning is. It's no joke, like, oh, it's just down and back. But yeah, a little fun story, a lot happened. So
There was
cool.
another fight an hour later. Then there was another fight.
Yeah, they get heated down there. They get heated down there. So it was cool though. But back at it, guys. Shout out to all the live viewers and listeners. I see you guys there. I see we got a couple in here watching. Guys, throw some questions your way. Any stories, any questions, any sports bets you're looking at, we'll throw them on the show. Give you a shout out and chat along with you. Want to know what you guys are up to. We're definitely going to get some March Madness, some 5-4 plays out to you guys. Probably tomorrow. We might make some tonight and everything too, just to get them out your way. But like I said, some good ones to look at this weekend. And of course, E announced it. He's retiring for a short notice. He's on a little break right now for the NBA, which is much needed. We don't really need to be guessing, like E said. We want to give you the best quality picks.
He's on load management. We don't want him twisting anything. We want him to fresh for the playoff push. He's in his Kawhi Leonard era.
He took a leave of absence. So he's letting the
in there, but we want him, get healthy, put the ice packs on, get the massage, and come back when
interim guys come in. But like I said, it's not a bad thing, and I totally agree with him, because like Sach and I have been telling you guys in the morning show as well. We've been telling you guys, hey, some guys aren't going to play tonight, some guys are. This game doesn't really matter to these guys, so we're going to give you plays based on role player type plays, or kind of what we're seeing that is still important at the time. But I'm with you as well. We're going to have some heat plays come for you guys once the playoffs start. I mean, we killed it. I know Sach and me killed it last year in the playoffs with so much is going on because the stars come out to play, guys. That's when it's big time. So definitely going to have some action. So just stay tuned with us and everything. We're still going to have plays every day for you guys, but just know we're taking these playoffs seriously, very seriously.
And like today, I only had one pick today that ended up hitting. Jalen Green under 37.5 PRA. He finished with 13 points, 7 rebounds, or 7 assists and 4 rebounds. So hit by a mile. Wasn't even close. But that's the type of thing. Jalen Green's been going crazy, but these games heading into this final stretch, it's tough to do. But like I said, is it better for me to just give out one pick, or just force 2 and go 1-1 and make no money? So not the worst of things. May not be fun for people, but I'm just going to give what I like out there.
The beauty of this, guys, and I want to shout this out to everyone watching right now, or everyone who's going to watch the rewatch and everything. There is always another game the next day and the following day and the following day from here on out. It's sports is every day. We always got something coming. So if you're not feeling something a certain day, and we have this too, where we're like, we're feeling this game, want to stay away from it. There's always something else. There's always something else to look into, and that never rush anything with sports betting. You want to make sure your money is in something that you like and you feel very good about. But we'll kind of hop into it. We're near the playoffs right now. A lot happened. I know. Let's kind of talk about some of the recent games and everything heading into it. Seeding wise, kind of what we're seeing. I know E was pretty heated with the prior Lakers game and everything. Obviously, yeah, I mean, that's what you're going to see right now. Either guys care or they don't care, or they're kind of in their way in, or they need to get in. But kind of where are we at from now heading into the playoffs? Sach, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing that I'm looking at is Denver and Minnesota are tied for first as of right now. It looks like Denver's going to pull it out tonight versus the they came back 31-25, but looks like Denver's going to lock up that 1 seed in the West. Looking at the rest of their schedule, I mean, the Nuggets are going to the Hawks, Jazz, Timberwolves, Spurs, and Grizzlies. And then you look at Minnesota, they got the Suns twice, the Nuggets, and the Lakers with the Hawks and Wizards. Hawks are a team that that can get them as well. So congrats to the Nuggets. They're going to officially lock up the number 1 seed. There's no way they're going to lose at least 2 games coming out of this to give Minnesota the 1 seed. But yeah, I mean, a big story in the East as well. The Milwaukee Bucks cannot figure it out. They're dropping. I think they've dropped I don't even know what it is, but
they lost 2 in a row. But yeah,
2 in a row. First, they lost to the fucking Grizzlies, which is a major concern. It looks like they're not going to really go anywhere, and it's kind of hard because you just got Doc Rivers, who was turning it around a little bit in the middle of the tenure, but now they're going back downhill, and that's the worst spot to be in. If you can't figure things out going into the playoffs, that's not a good thing. So I could see Milwaukee getting bounced probably in the second round, obviously depending on the matchup. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's just going to guaranteed be a lock for the Nuggets and Celtics if both teams stay healthy. It reminds me of kind of like UConn and Purdue. The basketball fans want to see it, and it looks like that's what it's going to be unless something drastic happens. And I don't see a Miami Heat team in this year's playoffs where they're capable of that, and they got to rattle off against a number 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed to get there. So it'll be interesting. But it also looks like the Thunder are going to stay in the 3rd seed as well. SGA hasn't played the last 3 games, I believe, and it doesn't look like they're going to finish and make a run, which I think is probably good for them because, like I said, they're going to go up against possibly the Lakers if they were to that 1 or 2 seed. See, that's the thing that people don't understand. Why are they sitting SGA when he's a game time decision? When they want to, if they wanted to get to that 1 or 2 seed so bad, he would be playing, but he's not because of the matchup. I think that they're going to be facing. That's just me being honest about what I think it is, but that's all I got to say for that right
now. That's all I got to say on that.
Because I could keep talking about it, and I'm like, okay, I think he wants to talk.
Oh no, you're good. I mean, everything you're saying is true, and so is the fact that these teams forecast out what's the easiest route to the finals, to the conference finals, right? So if I can get from that, say the 2 to the 3 or the 1 to the 2, wherever it is, and not play the Lakers first round coming out of the play-in tournament, right? That could be a concern as well. I think they're kind of projecting, but you got to do that in a way. I'll go the other side, right? I still like the East just because of where we're at. Orlando Magic, team of the week, right? 3 wins in a row. They're now tied with the Knicks for the 4th spot. So that would be, you're either going to be that 4 or 5. But again, Milwaukee's sitting at 2, and they're sitting on 47 wins. Cleveland 46, Magic, Knicks 45. So as you go into this last week and a half, I mean, it's still a roll of dice. Where's everybody going to land? Knicks can go as far as the 2 seed, they're only 2 back, or drop all the way to a playing game. It's pretty interesting out there. And that's the same as Orlando and Cleveland. I think Milwaukee's pretty safe, but so that's why I don't get it. Then you're like, man, no one's playing, and you got to, unless you're Boston, nobody's locked up anything in the East, right? Yeah. So, but
they're fighting.
I just don't get it. So rather than being frustrated and watching the stuff, we just recuperate. Because back to the prior before what ZJ was saying, if you watch us, if you listen to us, you watch it later, if you're going to take our advice and put your money on stuff, we want to make sure we're giving you good stuff. That's why if you want a show that just gives you plays every day, then they're out there as well. But I know they're not hitting either because there's trash that's out there right now. So we're trying to make it what we give you are the wins, and that's why most weeks we end with a winning percentage. And it's documented out there. It's going to be rough going into it the next 10 days, but the East should be interesting. I just don't know why they're not playing or what they're doing. But sitting at 6 is Indiana with 43, and then Knicks 45, Orlando 45, Cleveland 46, Milwaukee 47, and Milwaukee in a row, and Cleveland's lost 1. So everybody's just bunched up.
2 through 5 is extremely close right now in the East.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
pretty awesome.
That's really close. Holy hell! And I'm sure they'll probably have some head-to-head matchups versus each other too in these final coming games, being in the East.
You can be the 2 seed or drop all the way to a play-in game. Yeah. That's how close these are.
And it's like that because the bottom of the barrel NBA teams are just so bad.
And then I'll say out west, the interesting thing this week, it's almost, I'll use an analogy with their name, but it's like the Rockets ran out of fuel. They were hot, and they're just falling back into place. And, hey, veterans do what veterans do. Golden State, they won again today.
6 games in a row for the Dubs.
They're up. Yeah, they're playing playoff basketball right now. So there's levels to it, as we said, but the Rockets just kind of fizzled out. Looks like the Warriors will get that play-in spot. I think they're 4 games back, the Rockets.
4 games ahead of the Rockets, yeah, so we're good.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a wrap, unless something big happens. But that was interesting because there was a minute they were the hottest team in the West and the league, really, and then they just kind of ran out of fuel.
And the Warriors got an easy schedule from here on out pretty much as well. I mean, they got the Mavs, the Jazz twice, the Blazers, and then they have the Lakers and Pelicans, which those are some hard games. But if the Warriors go 4-2 and a couple of these teams, sizzle down, the Pelicans don't have Brandon Ingram. We know how the Zion stuff goes. He can miss a game or 2 in these final 6. Lakers, obviously you got Bron and AD. Anything can happen right there. The Warriors, I think if they could go 5-1, best case scenario, they could possibly slip into possibly like a 6 seed that they do. Yeah, they could possibly slip into the 6 seed.
I think, I don't know, just looking at it, I think for them, right, a goal or what they should be looking at is catching the Lakers, right? Because the way this is set up right now, they would play the Pelicans. I think they would do better against the
No, they wouldn't. We wouldn't play the Pelicans.
No. It doesn't go like 45 plays, 42. You know what I mean? Like 7 plays. Go ahead.
No. So 7 and 8 play each other. The winner of that gets the automatic bid for the 7th seed. 9 and 10, you have to win 2 games to get the 8th seed because if you lose, then you're bounced. Yeah. And then whoever lost the 7-8 matchup plays the 9 and 10 winner. So if you're in the 7 and 8 spot, you get 2 shots to win 1 game to get the 8th seed.
Good. Okay.
So as it stands right now, the Warriors and the Lakers will be playing win or go home. If you win, then you got to win another one to get into that 8 spot.
I think it's going to get crazy and kind of bouncing to what he was saying, especially with the East over there. And I said this on one of the prior shows, but I love it over there because I really think the door's open. And what I love about the playoffs this time around and everything, you always have a wild card. You always have a team that shocks you. You always have a guy that surprises you. You have that team that like has been waiting to get in, and they're just gonna ball out. Like last year, we had Miami, who just went crazy. No one thought would have been anywhere near anything, So I always love looking for the wild card. And with these playing games too, these playing games get heated because it's win or die. So I'm looking forward to some of the props on some of these playing games going in. And then, of course,
the Miami Heat were the 10th seed in the play-in last year.
Oh yeah,
so they weren't even a traditional 8th seed like back in the day. They had to win 2 games to get to that spot. So they just solidified the play-in tournament as a legit thing that the NBA is going to keep because then it gives you another chance.
Yeah.
So looking forward to it. I really think this year's playoffs are going to be awesome. They're going to be awesome. And like we said, over the West is really just a gauntlet you got to go through with everyone. And the interesting one too, where are the Suns right now? 'Cause they're pretty low right now.
They're
They've been
sick.
That's going to be an interesting kind of one to follow right there to see seeding wise who's beating them.
Yep. And the best thing about this year's playoffs that we haven't gotten in quite some time is all the superstars are healthy. Every star team is fully healthy, besides the Knicks and Dings that everyone has. But I mean, you look at it, the big three in the Suns are healthy. The big five in the Celtics are happy. Jamal Murray, he's playoff ready, but they're not going to force it on him right now. But Nuggets are fully healthy, Lakers fully healthy, Warriors fully healthy, Bucks. Everyone's healthy, which we really haven't gotten in quite some time. Every team is healthy. Luka and Kyrie, it's gonna be sick, dude. It's gonna be sick because now there's not that one team who's high up there and they got their best player out injured, and then you're like, damn, it's not even a real matchup. So it's good to see. I hope we can get past this next week without any injuries because that would just derail, a lot of stuff going into the playoffs. But everyone's healthy. That's a gift.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is awesome right now. We got so much going on in sports and everything. It's just going to get better. I love these nights too, easing the summer too. You got these warm nights coming. You got ball on every night, every other night. We're in for a treat.
Sorry to even
pack a
off
lunch.
again. Oh, I was going to say, sorry, ZJ. I'm just thinking of all these things. Now, this playoffs as well, now we're seeing the young gun teams are in the playoffs at high seeds. We got the Cavaliers, young team, obviously besides Donovan Mitchell, but they're still like a baby diaper team. Magic, the Knicks can get back on the high horse. You got the Indiana Pacers who can make some noise. They're a young team, took second in the in-season tournament. Now we got Minnesota to finally get over the hump, the Thunder, and I mean we got a bunch of young teams that could really make some noises and turn the franchise around completely. Who would have thought we were going to see the Magic as a 4 seed 2 years ago? No one was thinking that. Who would have thought that we were going to see the Thunder as a 3 seed? The NBA playoffs has everything. If you like young teams, you got that. Superstars, you got that. A close whole division where anyone can win in the East, you got that. This is perfect. This is probably the most exciting playoff series we might get in quite some time.
I got a question for you guys. We'll run this around. Obviously, we've somewhat had prediction wise who we think is going to go to the finals from each side and everything. If you had to pick a dark horse to get out there, who would it be?
Go ahead, E. I've been talking.
You're on mute, E.
Boom. So let me look at the standings, and then a dark horse in the West, probably the Mavs. I mean, I'm not jumping on a 2 or 3 seed, but the Mavs they had a good run, lost. They won again. I think it was yesterday or the night before. But if they could pull something together, and then in the East,
it's kind of hard to say a dark horse in the West because they're all just loaded from top to. It's kind of like even the Mavs. Is Luka and Kyrie a dark horse? Are they really the East? I feel is where you can get the dark horses, and it could get weird real quick.
You could say, hey, Philly's right now they're a playing team, so I can say Philly, but also the problem with the East is they're all 2 games out. So is there really, you know what I mean? The second and 6 seeds are 2-game difference, so there's really not a big difference in them. But maybe Philly. If Philly can catch a run if Embiid can stay healthy, and then out west, give me the Mavs.
Yeah.
Who you got, Saj?
I mean, in the East, it's hard to say right now because I'm looking the matchup that I would be most intrigued by is if I think the Pacers may try to get into that play-in game where they can get the 7th seed. Because if they can match up against not them. What am I thinking of? Who always beats the Bucks? It's the Pacers always beat the Bucks. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The Pacers have the Bucks number. If the Pacers go up against the Bucks in the first round, as a 7-2 or a 6-3, don't be surprised if the Pacers push that to 7 games and they pull it out. I think they're like 4-1 versus the Bucks this year. Knocked them out in the play-in. They had the whole Giannis ball thing that happened when he scored the franchise record. He was going to take people's heads off. They got in a little scuffle again after that in the play-in. I think that series can get dirty and real quick, which I love. I want to see some dirty basketball. I kind of do. I want to see people getting in faces. I want balls getting stolen. So I think I would say the Pacers as a dark horse only if they get matched up with the Bucks. We're still a week out, but I honestly I like the Knicks. I think the Knicks can beat whoever they play in that first round. If OG comes back, I don't know. Is that still looking as a playoff?
So, like I said, I think he's going to be there. New York Post today said he's playing 5-on-5 full contact. I just think he's sitting out to playoff.
Yeah,
so,
and I think you guys can get the Cavs.
Same thing with Mitch.
I think
same thing with Mitch. He came back and
7-footers.
Yeah. So
I think they.
I don't think they're gonna have a problem the first round, but as a fan, you always think you can do that. But we'll see who's playing, right? The Knicks, I like that. That's a good shot.
I like
what
the
you
Knicks.
got.
And then in the
CJ?
West,
What are you thinking?
Then in the West,
you can't have
the Pelicans.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off like that. But I was wondering, like a dark horse. You can't really call Denver a dark horse, CJ.
No. So
he wanted to. Everyone's disrespecting this team. I'm going with the Nuggets to make some noise in the playoffs.
So the East, for the East, I really like 2 teams that but yeah, my dark horse for the East would be the Knicks. I really like the Knicks just because of the atmosphere they have and everything. I feel like with Tibbs and everything, it's really like a war room atmosphere over there, which I love because when you get down to the nitty-gritty of the playoffs and what kind of beast it is, I think that just helps you so much more, the kind of grit and toughness. I think the Knicks are tough. I really do.
Oh, they're tough. Oh, there is
just coaching wise, player wise, team wise, like those guys are going to do some things. And I really hope, like I said, obviously OG is huge. I really hope they can get Mitchell Robinson back. Because if they can get Mitchell Robinson back, that is going to be a problem. Just with so many, I mean, we got to think like they're doing all this without him. This guy is a killer rebounder. Killer.
Well, he's already back. No,
he hurt his ankle. That's why he's out right now. He came back, played 2 games, hurt his ankle, he had surgery on, and that's why, like I said, I think they're holding him and OG for playoffs.
Yeah.
They're running practice, they're doing everything, but it's like, look, let's not even.
If he comes back, they're honestly really dangerous because now their team is just. They got a lot of units on that team, which I like. I also, obviously they're a 3 seed in the East. I like the Cavs. I really like the Cavs too. What Sach was saying, young team, quick team, very good defensively for the most part. And they're also a team that's given the Celtics some business in the East. So I like that too. I don't think they're scared or anything. I like how they're doing. But if we go over to the West, I'm definitely where what E was saying with the Mavs. There's something about it. There's something about these guys. I was talking about last year in the last episode how, KD came late to the Suns and everything. They didn't have a lot of time to gel and whatnot. You kind of looking at a similar situation with the Mavs, Kyrie and Luka. They've had a year to gel. They've had this year now to follow that. So they're going to be a little different too come playoff time, which I like. They've had more time around each other. And we haven't seen this in maybe like a year, in a couple years, but I want to throw this out here. Playoff Kyrie, he gets one is pretty different. I mean, he is pretty special. Obviously, there's a lot.
Knows firsthand, it's fucking
hang on. No, hang on. Obviously, I know a lot of people, fans and everything, viewers, NBA fans in general. There's a lot of, there's one side hate towards Kyrie. There's another side they love him and everything. This guy is an absolute killer when it comes to the playoffs, and he's arguably one of the best ball handlers, if not the best ball handler in the game when he has the rock in his hand. So I think the Mavs could be pretty dangerous, Sach. I really do. I'm interested to see how they do. Like I said, I mean, they've just had so much more time to gel now with that team.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at their matchup right now, can they beat the Clippers? Of course they can beat the Clippers. Luka is known as the Clipper killer. He demolishes the Clippers like royally throughout his career. He's given the Clippers problems. Even in the bubble, he gave the Clippers problems, taking them to I think 6 or 7 or something like that with a not good team. But now that he has Kyrie, PJ Washington is finally over the last week starting to play like Charlotte PJ Washington, major power forward that they have. That's going to be huge for the playoff matchup going up against Kawhi and Paul George. Daniel Gafford, a guy that can hold Zubats to his own. It would be the Luka and Kyrie show straight up versus James Harden and the Kawhi and PG. They can absolutely get them. And like you said, like when the playoffs comes around, this is when Kyrie kind of starts to tune it into gear.
This is when he's more
it'll be fun to watch. What a series that would be.
And that's, I don't want to take away from anything from that, but we kind of talk about players that kind of don't care at certain moments and whatnot. Obviously, a lot of times in the regular season, Kyrie's kind of with the media letting stuff get to him and everything. He's doing this, doing that. Regular season. When it comes playoff time, though, Kyrie is pretty damn locked in. I mean, that guy's a killer. So it'll be, like with the Suns last year, everything. We knew that KD and D Booker was a nice little duo there. They would get things going and everything. But now you got a Luka Kyrie, which is nasty as well. So we'll see. It's just a gauntlet over there, man. I mean, it really is a gauntlet. You got to ball out over in the West if you really want it. It's yours to lose. You know what I mean? That's why for the Nuggets too, the Nuggets are strong, but it's also theirs lose too, because it's going to be tough over there. It's going to be real tough over there. It's going to be a gauntlet. But that makes it exciting. It makes it awesome. That makes it even better.
It does. Absolutely. I'm looking at some questions on Instagram. A couple of the people, some of these people, the comments don't come up on StreamYard, I realized, so I'm toggling back between Instagram. Thankfully, we've covered already a lot of these topics that people have asked, like UConn going up against Purdue, NC State being hot, and then the Caitlin Clark and that UConn matchup. So, appreciate all the love on Instagram as well. You guys, we can't put your comments up because they just don't pop up on the StreamYard, but that's, I'll try to get to them as much as possible. But, I mean, yeah, man, I feel like we covered it all today. There's a lot to happen. Next Thursday is when we're really going to know the matchups, and that's going to be a lot more sweeter because now we could give out the predictions, because I think the play-in games, if I'm not mistaken, those start like right away. So we might not even have a show in time to kind of give our breakdown of what's going to happen in those unless it's Thursday. Or is that going to be next month?
Which one? What are you talking about?
April 14th. Oh, we'll have 10 days. What am I talking about? We'll have 10 days. I'm thinking it ends like next Thursday. Sorry, we got 10 days. We're good. I was talking about the play-in games.
Yeah, so what I'll just add, because I know we're doing on time. We got about 2 minutes left and everything in the session. Obviously, we'll try to get some plays out tomorrow for the women's game and everything. I think that I like that spread, what Sach was saying with UConn plus 2.5. I think that's a good solid play if you like. It's going to be a tight and everything. See what happens. But going back to what Sach was saying, I think coaching wise, I think they obviously have the better coach and everything with experience and how many times this guy has gotten this team this far and everything. But again, you got a Caitlin Clark over there on Iowa who's just a straight killer and everything. So we'll get some more plays out to you guys for those, and obviously get some for the men's Final Four as well. But real quick, just going around, anything you guys kind of want to add, quick goodbyes, anything like that before we end the show?
No, just be careful going up to this next week. Just be careful betting. Don't bet above your means, especially on these games. Take a e-break and take a week off. Whatever you got to do, get ready, ice up those knees, because we got a long haul of the playoffs, a 2-month long playoff. That's going to be pretty insane. So like I'm saying, just stay ready. We're going to give out the picks. Playoff time, we're going to give out picks left and right every day for sure. Probably going to have 1 or 2 picks. I know E's going to throw in his 1 or 2 picks. It'll be sad that college basketball will be coming to an end. We're not going to get the CBI picks, the NITs and whatnot, but that's what we're here for. So now we get to solely focus on the NBA. Full head of steam for the next 2 months once that starts up, and we'll have Whit and maybe even E throw in a couple baseballs. Who knows?
Nice. Yeah, good to go. Great show. Appreciate the conversation. Championship weekend is upon us. The nation's talking. Saturday night, it's the bloodline against Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. I'm sure that's what everyone's thinking. So I might even have a couple plays on that for you guys. But other than that, looking forward to crowning the women and the men's NCAA champ, as well as Universal WWE champ with WrestleMania. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff going on.
Awesome, guys. Well, that'll do it for tonight's episode of the Bet Show After Hours. We appreciate all you guys being here, the live viewers and listeners. Love you guys. Be sure to give us a follow, share us to a friend and everything. If you want to come on the show, shoot us the DM. We'd love to have conversations with all of you guys, as well as we love giving out the plays. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.